Hi guys, this is Michelle Sanders. I am from Louisiana and I am on the Bad Girls design team. And I wanted to share with you guys a little bit today about how I use flowers in my kits. First, I would choose my flower, and I think I'm going to use this one to show you. And first I would take my gesso. This is the Bad Girls gesso. I love it. It's super thick and covers very well. I put a nice thick coating of that onto my flower. Okay. I don't always want it to completely dry because sometimes I like the colors to kind of blend in together. So I think for this one, I'm going to use two colors. I'm going to try some of this green and see how that works out. And I just squirt a little dab onto the petals, and I just kind of rub it forward to get to the center and then rub it out. And if you can see how it makes these pretty variegated striations in the flower, and that's what I want. I want to create that interest, that texture, make it look as natural as possible. I'll do the same thing on this side. And then I think I'm going to add some yellow to that. Again, just a tiny little bit is all you really need. This was probably a little more than what I needed on this one, but we'll go with that. Just brush it out with your finger, just like that. Okay, so now they're a little drier. They still have a little ways to go, but we'll go ahead and get started on glittering the edges of these to just add a little extra texture and sparkle and make them just super fun. These little elements that you add, the attention to detail on these is really what makes them look like beautiful, expensive flowers, and gives that extra interest on your project that you're going to be putting the flowers on. It really makes them a piece of artwork all on their own before you even place them on a page or a project. So I just used some of my gesso, again, because it's nice and thick and it makes a good, good bond. And then just some simple craft glitter. These are some coarse glitters that I have. This one is like a clear glassine type glitter. When I'm just working over a surface, I can easily shake it back off into the bottle when I'm done. Okay, so I have the edges all glittered. Now we're going to move on to the next part of the process. I'm going to glue the two pieces together, and then we'll add some crackle effect to them. So I'll just put a good little dollop of hot glue there in the middle, just to keep it together for right now. Stick the two there together. And some of the paint is still kind of wet, so we'll just take our time and be careful to not make any striations in the paint that we weren't trying to make. Okay, so let that dry. And then we're going to get our crackle paint here. And any crackle paint would work for this. You could even put a coat of the crackle paint on. This particular paint just tells you to brush it on there, but some of them you can brush it on and then brush another color on top, or wipe another color on top. So what I like about this is, as you saw in the flower that I used on the clipboard, it kind of gives it not only a crackle effect, but it kind of gives it a nice sheen. So I'm going to go ahead and brush this on there in a similar way that I did the color in the center, to where it's not completely going through the whole petal, and it's just going to kind of mimic what we've already done with the color. Okay, so now the crackle is dried. I used a heat gun to speed up the process a little bit, and you probably can't see the crackle very much in the video, but I'm sure you can see that it's glossy and shiny now. What we're going to do to enhance the cracks on here, I'm going to use some of the, I have some mist, some brown mist by Maya Road, and because I know it's the proper color that I'm looking for, but you could use any inks. You could use the distressed inks, you could use watered down paint, which I've done before, but I'm just going to use a little bit of this ink here and just dab it on there in a couple of spots, and then rub it with my finger to where I want it. And that's just going to add some definition to those wrinkles and cracks in the crackle. Add it on this side as well. And it just really gives some depth and definition. And you can add as little or as much as you want. You can even dab some off if you have more than you wanted. And just continue to just work through it until it's all distributed like you'd like so. Okay, so now you kind of can see the cracks a little bit more. You definitely can see that it's glossy and has more of a finished look. A lot of times the acrylic paints will leave your project kind of dull, so this gives it a nice shine. Next, our flower needs a center, and I have a number of different pieces I could use for that. I also design jewelry, so I have tons of just broken bits and pieces, odd earrings, things like that. So we'll find a piece that we like in the center of here. I think I like this one, and it already has the clip removed from the back. So I'll go ahead and just glue this right in the center of our flower. And our flower is done. It is now ready to be adhered to a project or a layout, anything like that. It would be precious for a little girl's hairband or something like that, for a brooch by itself to be worn. So, so that's pretty much how I do my decorative flowers, my altered flowers, and I do different variations of it. So I hope this has encouraged you to go and make your own. Thanks.